Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, and today we're going to talk about IAUI from NEOs. If that is what you're looking for, stick around. So my name is Brad, and I like to drink coffee every now and then. And we are going to talk about the new NEOs fund on gold. But everybody should grab their cup of coffee because coffee is the nectar of life. So NEOs came out with this new fund, and let's break this down logically. Let's look at the underlying holdings and walk through every single step. And I'm going to give you approximately what they're going to pay for distributions at the end. If we look at their holdings, they hold synthetic. You have your calls and your puts. They have 24 calls. They sold 11 at two different strikes, 318 and 324. 311 was approximately where it opened up at market today. They also hold 24.5% in physical gold at Goldman Sachs at IAUI. They also have some treasuries and cash. You can understand that. That's very typical of a standard fund. Nothing new or exciting out there. Been following the channel. Remember, they are only allowed to hold approximately 25% due to rules and regulations of a 1940 Act, blah, blah, blah. So don't get excited. They can't hold any more than that into the fund. So this is just like BTCI that I have covered in the past. There are rules that they have to play by. Let's quickly look at these on a chart. If I put on a chart, you can see where they are. They're out of the money, slightly above, and a laddered calls. How far are these calls out of the money? Let's do the math. 311, first call is 318, that's 2.2% out of the money. 324 is 4% out of the money. But as we saw before, they have 24.5% unwritten on, and they also have, and they only wrote 22. So they didn't write on the total portfolio. So let's break down some of the math. If I look at how much they actually made in their calls, they made $10,472. Take that times 12 months times minus 100, because it's 100 shares in a contract, gives you $125,664 annually. Let's look at the other side of the portfolio. The other side of the portfolio, hey, they had covered calls worth 20,000. They had treasuries, they had physical gold, and they had cash. Another gives you just over $1 million. Now, let's get into the percentage that they wrote on and the percentage they didn't write on. So they wrote two calls that were not written on. So minus 2 times 311 minus 100, 62,000, plus what they hold in actual AAU, which is 244,000. Also a little bit of cash in there, but not enough to move the bar. So they wrote on approximately 70% of the total portfolio. You just take the two and you do the division, and now you can figure out how much of the portfolio do they write on. Right around, that's 71%. So about 29% they did not write on. And of course you joined because you want to know, what is the distribution rate, Brad? What are they going to pay? And this is a SPY distribution rate. The quick math tells me 12.23. And things change here and there, shares, counts. There's things in there that I just don't know. So I'm going to tell you somewhere between 11 and 12%, just like a SPY in a good month. Maybe they'll be a little bit higher. So that is this broken down for you to understand what they're doing. They wrote synthetics, plus they hold the underlying as much as they're legally allowed due to regulations. They wrote on 70% of the portfolio. 30% approximately is not written on, and they're going to pay out about 12%. Now, their website also says that these are 1256 contracts. Now, I cannot confirm or deny if they're 1256 contracts, but their website clearly states that these are 1256 contracts, so that is going to increase the tax efficiencies, just like a standard NEOS fund. It also looks like the first distribution will be in June, so coming up fairly quickly. So hopefully you found this educational as well as fun. None of this was financial advice or any other advice. Do your own due diligence, but hey, we know that they're going to pay somewhere around that 12% range, just like a SPY eye, and this is on gold. So until next time, God bless. And one last thing, if Neos is watching this, tell Neos, or everybody should tell Neos to come onto the channel and discuss these, because I'd love to have a discussion on the technicals of how these funds actually work and share them with the audience. I think it'd be a great part of a video series. So make sure Neos here's your call to come on to the channel. Until next time.